So this is a finished woodland vessel, and all the things that represent pieces of the forest are attached to the vessel. There's no sewing, there's no gluing. We get the wool to attach to the wool. And that's what I want to show you now, is how we attach these certain things, because in class, I'll show you again, but it's always good to see it up close in a video. This is our vessel. It's flat, and you'll be doing this in class. There's a piece of plastic inside, and there's many layers of wool, and it's very wet. We're going to put all of our design on top of this. So we decide where the center is, and I put a little circle in there just to keep it open. And the first thing we like to do is put these little pieces of wool. They're called neps, and you can put them around any way you like. You can even make a little, what might be a little stone path coming down if you'd like, or just keep it around the center. And you can keep an edge around here in case we decide to cut the opening a little bit larger. And it also actually looks pretty nice when there's no neps right up to the edge. So I covered with neps quite a bit, but I may end up scooting them to the side, because now I'm going to lay some of these stones. So these are the packages we made. I showed you in another video how to make this package with layers of wool, and then this wool covering it, and then we tied it with a string. So now we have this fluffy end, and the fluffy end we spread apart with our fingers, because that wool is going to attach to this wool. So I think I will push some of those neps aside and put our first stone down, and I'll push it down, and I don't know if you can see in the video, but the water is coming up, and this is a bit of gray wool, and maybe it's too much, so I can trim that with the scissors. We don't need quite that much gray wool, so I'll just trim it, and then I'm going to show you what we use as glue. We put more of our green wool, which is the color of the vessel, over the gray wool, and that acts as the glue to hold that stone down on the vessel. So you dry your hands after handling the wool, and then you pull out more, and you can lay it down, and I can trim it if I don't need all of that up there, and push it, and if I push it down, the water comes up and it's all holding together. Now this stone package was when we covered the wool and then used a needle to felt it all together. So there is no fringe, but it's very loose. And I want to show you that that will also stick to the vessel. And I like to make a little stone patch. So I'm going to push those neps aside and put this stone, leave a little space, like about almost a ½ an inch, because the vessel will be shrinking and the stones will end up right next to each other. And I just push it, and later we'll do a lot of massaging to get those fibers to stick to each other. Another element we have are these hemp cords, and I wrap them with coarse wool, and it also has a fluffy end. So this is to look like some type of plant in the forest, and I think I'll put it over here. And it already has a fluffy patch. We could take these loose fibers and lay them on top if we want the color to change, or just a little extra wool glue, but they would probably stick on their own. So I'll push that down in the water also, and it gets wet, and sometimes it's a little tricky and everything starts sticking to our hands, but it's all going to be good. And as you see, I pushed the neps to the side, so now maybe I'll put them back on top of that element. And this element is going to be a bird's nest. It is a marble covered with bubble wrap, and then covered with wool, and I tied it with the thread and left the fuzzy end. So we're going to put the fuzzy end on the vessel, and after we have gotten the whole thing wet and we've been rolling it and shrinking it, we're going to make a slit and take that marble out, and that way we will be able to shape that bird's nest. And so this goes on just the same way that the other things did. And we push that down and get it wet. And if it's underneath, you got to take out some wool and maybe stick it down and fuss with it a little bit, because the big marble package is on top. And that's what we do. And we might take something plastic and help us to push it down, because the wool sticks to our fingers a little bit. So we can always use some tools. Okay, you get the idea. I hope seeing this close up helps take some of the mystery out of it.